Hello everybody, welcome back to INSANEBRIT Gaming. I'm the INSANEBRIT, and today's article we're going to be looking at Ubisoft announcing that it will be shifting away from its traditional strategy of releasing 3 or 4 premium AAA titles each year, but plans to launch high-end free-to-play games for all of its biggest franchises. Okay, so I'm assuming that's Far Cry, Assassin's Creed. So I'm going to read the article and interject my opinion as we read. It is kind of a long article, some of it is unnecessary. So please do forgive me if I kind of fumble around it a little bit. I'm going to try my best. The company provided an update for its game development strategy during the full-year earnings call on Tuesday, when it said it intends to be less reliant on AAA releases as part of its overall product mix, in line with the evolution of high-quality lineup that is increasingly diverse. We are moving on from our prior comment regarding releasing 3 or 4 premium AAA games per year, said Ubisoft Chief Financial Officer Frederick Duguet. So it continues. It is indeed no longer a proper indication of our value creation dynamics. For example, our expectation for Just Dance and Riders Republic are consistent with some of the industry's AAA performers. I know Just Dance comes out X, Y, and Z amount of years, but I'm not somebody who A, is ever going to play it, and B, don't care about it, but it is what it is. In actual fact, I didn't even know they made Just Dance, but whatever. Additionally, we are building high-end free-to-play games to be trending towards AAA ambitions over a long-term period, I suppose. So essentially, I think they're trying to release free-to-play games, get people that cannot afford £70 games, or which is a joke in itself, different story, essentially who can't afford those games, so most people will download the free-to-play, enjoy the experience. Far Cry is good for it. We know Rainbow Six is going to be good for it. They might even have Assassin's Creed as well, free-to-play, and essentially you're going to need smaller teams to run those. Yes, it will cost money for the servers, but considering the money you'll be saving on developing a full AAA game, that will keep the lights on. You've got fans of those series jumping to those particular games, microtransactions, the Ezio costume, get the Vaz costume. Is it Vaz? From Far Cry, get those skins, it only costs you like £2.50 in microtransactions when it comes to the mobile versions and the console versions. Also, you can put them on PC as well. So it's going to keep the lights on, essentially, for Ubisoft. And they might even go into rotation like Call of Duty do, where Sledgehammer and Activision kind of rotate the game. So there's like a 2-year or 3-year cycle period where they put more time and into the game, and more thoughts into the AAA games, whether it be Far Cry or Assassin's Creed. So that might actually end up being a good thing. But anyway, let's move on in the article. Posting on Twitter, one of Ubisoft's senior analysts claimed the company's comments were in reference to F2P. F2P is free to play, becoming a larger share of the revenue pie, not an indication that there will be less traditional paid games like Assassin's Creed. So yes, they want that part of the markup. They want that piece of that pie, like Fortnite, Fall Guys. I know it ain't free to play, but it's one of those games where people stick to. Rocket League would be another good example of this, of course, with Season 1, Season 2, and all that rhetoric. And then, you can buy skins, new maps and stuff coming out for it. That's what they want. They want a piece of that pie, but it is becoming an oversaturated market. But essentially, you can argue that, but you can't, because there's something for everyone. So they're trying to get into that, which I don't blame them for doing. Whether it works or not is a different story, because sometimes those games end up being crap, and then even to the hardcore fans of the series don't want to play it, and they end up dying very quickly. So that could also happen as well, but whatever, it is what it is. They wrote in content, the content mix is expanding, not changing. A good comp, I suppose it means competition, is the evolution of COD since Warzone. Warzone, yeah, that is free to play. I don't have the fucking memory on my console to actually have that installed and keep it installed, which is ridiculous. But that's a perfect example of that, and a lot of people really love and enjoy that game. And I understand it, even like I said, I played it and recorded some of it as well. I mostly wanted to steer the convo away from free-to-play games, are replacing AAA paid games to free-to-play is going to be an additional way to experience some of these IPs. Again, he's just said it there, the free-to-play games are going to be a way of experience Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and Rainbow Six. and then they build that audience, and if they want to invest in the game that comes out in 1 or 2 years time, their audience will be bigger than ever. You know what I mean? Catching the casuals to invest their time and money on these games they might never have played, which makes perfect business sense. It would make the money, keep the lights on, and again, it's cost effective for them. Okay, Tom Clancy's Division Heartland is being led by Red Storm Entertainment and described as a standalone experience set for release on PlayStation, Xbox and PC. No details were revealed on the separate mobile game. In terms of Heartland, the way we are thinking about building audience and reach and growth for our biggest franchises, so starting with the Division, is to come with high quality free-to-play games. He said on Tuesday, we recognise this is the first year we are coming meaningfully into the space, so it's the first time they're doing this. They want to come with some impact kind of thing. That's why we need to take reasonable assumptions for year one on the top line as well as on the contribution, but of course we want to make sure this is a strong contributor in the long term to the expansion of the overall brand on console, PC, and then of course to come to mobile at a later time. So they are going to be releasing on the consoles first and then releasing it to mobile over a period of time. He elaborated on the new direction. We think that we have a great opportunity to meaningfully expand the audience of our biggest franchises, like I said, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry. We have taken the time to learn from what we did last year with Hyperspace. We were also learning on, of course, with the launch, but we're also making of Roller Champions as well. I've never played either of those games. We've been making on Roller Champions, and we've been learning a lot from Brawlhalla, which is fast growing. So they've already got some kind of aspect of this, and it's growing in those free-to-play games. Again, I've never touched them, and I won't. Just don't interest me. And we think that now is a time to come with high-quality free-to-play games across our biggest franchises across all platforms. But of course, it will take some time before proving it is more of an assertive way. That's why we want to be cautious in year one. If we are successful, we can have a very meaningful impact on the value of creation of Ubisoft. The publisher said Tuesday that the current fiscal year ending March 31st, 2022 will include the release of Far Cry 6, definitely going to be playing that, Rainbow Six Quarantine by September 30th, plus Rider Republic, The Division Heartland and Roller Champions. And it confirmed during its earnings call that no AAA games scheduled for release during the second half of the fiscal year, which includes Christmas season. So there'll be no games coming out from Ubisoft this Christmas. That kind of sucks, especially with a new console out as well, but I suppose they'll be focused on the likes of Far Cry 6, Rainbow, which is online as well. So they've got things out already, and essentially open world pirate game Skull and Bones, which I was definitely looking forward to playing, was planned for release during the current fiscal year, but Ubisoft said on Tuesday it had been delayed yet again. The game is now scheduled for release during its next fiscal year, April 2022, blah blah blah. Assassin's Creed, one of the biggest years, whatever. So essentially they are focusing on these free-to-play games. Like I said in my original analysis, reading that, or reading into that, essentially they're going to be doing a rotation, I suspect, with Far Cry, Assassin's Creed. A lot of fans, including myself, would say, man, Assassin's Creed keeps coming out every year. Yes, they're good games, it's incredible what they do, or every 2 years, but it feels like, man, it just keeps on going. I know there's criticism with Call of Duty doing that, but the way that particular business model has changed with the seasons and stuff like that, I think Fortnite started doing that, but COD really ran with it and really did well with it. And of course, expanding into that Warzone as well, free to play, which has been very successful. You cannot help, I cannot blame them for looking at this and going, wow, that is a major piece of the pie. This is the future. They want to expand on their audience and get more casuals in to play those games. So I'm not really shocked or surprised at it. I think it makes good business sense. But like I said, the fear is they don't want them to be a Konami where they essentially abandon their AAA games. Konami, for example, don't make really much Metal Gear or have anything to do with it. Like they've got it in their locker, but they're not really doing anything with it. And of course, PES, which Pro Evolution Soccer, which comes out once a year anyway. That's the only one they really focus on. But the majority of them are now mobile games. And Xbox, I did say a couple of weeks ago, were rumored to be trying to buy the Metal Gear Solid Series franchise off of them, which I think would be fantastic to do something with it. Hell, please Xbox, if you do that, please remake the whole series on next-gen consoles, and I will play. I will pay £50 per game or £70 per game. I don't care. I love the franchise. But again, that is the fear. But they are saying that they essentially aren't going to do that. They're going to keep releasing some AAA games. But they're saying that, and it sounds positive, and they're going to just expand. They said they were going to have a mix, so they're not saying they're going to slow down. But at the same time, I got a feeling that they might. This might be a good thing. You might get better quality Far Cry games and Assassin's Creed games if they've got more development time. Like I said, with Sledgehammer and Activision um, rotating the scheduling for it, you know, and who develops it. So they've got more development time. It may end up being good for the actual franchises, good for fans. Or do you think differently? Do you think, no, you want one every single year, and you'll be sad without your Far Cry and your Assassin's Creed every year, more or less? I think it's more or less every 2 years. I'm definitely looking forward to playing Far Cry 6. Again, in terms of business sense, it makes good business sense. It really does. It keep the lights on. Smaller teams to work on the projects. You know, it's just run the servers essentially. Put out a season, put some items in, here's some skins, and people, casuals will pick it up, play the game, and might invest in the, they might earn more fans that way. So it makes perfect sense. People like me, like hardcore fans of Ubisoft who play the South Park game, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry, I'm not really interested too much in free-to-play, but that's my thing in itself. That's me. But I know there are plenty of fans out there that will invest in it. I will try Far Cry for free if it's free to play. I'll try it out, see what it's like. 9 out of 10, I already know. I'm going in with skepticism. I will not stick with it. I won't deny that. I'm highly unlikely to stick with it. I just love my story-based games, and I prefer COD being my online shooter, as it were, because it's just fun to me. Of course, we've got Battlefield as well coming out, I think, this year to contest with, but who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, I haven't got a PS5 at this point. So yeah, there's lots of competition coming out for these. I know it's a AAA game, Battlefield 6 or whatever, but there's lots of these shooters out that's going to be knocking around and competing for your time. Free to play is going to be convenient for a lot of you know, kids or just people that haven't got the money, especially in this current climate, to fork out £70 per game. It's crazy. I know somebody who's working, who's a fan of PlayStation, Xbox, but they ain't planning to go out and pay £70 for a game either. They're going to wait for a sale, and then they buy all the games that they want. You know, when there's a big sale one, you know, and work for a backlog of stuff. Currently, I've got a massive backlog of games that I'm going to be playing and releasing on my channel in the coming weeks and stuff like that. So that's just the way I am, though. That's the way my channel runs. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel in recent weeks. It means a lot to me. Guys, I hope you enjoy the end of Assassin's Creed. I think that'll be coming up in a week's time or what have you. I'll start the likes of Rage coming up. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Links will be in the description below. And I will see you next time. You can donate to me via PayPal. I'm saving up to get a PC. That's where it will go. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.